Near Gatyam. It means hello from Vadorang language. I acknowledge traditional custodians of this land, the Vadorang people. To know me, it is to breathe with me. To breathe with me, it is to listen deeply.
To listen deeply is to connect.
Those are my favorite words from Dadiri. Listening to Nita's story through Dadiri helped me to slow down and connect to the story. I noticed how my attention shifted when I listened deeply. Dadiri invites me to sit quietly with Nita's fear, frustration, and her deep sorrow of being taken away from her at age 5. This helped me to see beyond myself and helped me to see the world through her eyes, a world shaped by forced separation, language loss, and loneliness. In this stillness, I felt the deep connection to Nita as a story listener. It reminds me of Angma's word that deep listening about connecting to places, to the people, and to the stories that live within them. It also reminded me about Koto Sharma's 4 level of listening. It mentioned that empathetic listening, where we have that emotional story. This is where we go beyond ourselves and see the world through the eyes of the other, which opens up more perspectives. It also resonates with pedagogy listening. It is a multiple listening, Rinaldi 2001. A listening with all the senses in multiple ways, extending on this idea. Story listening offers a way to generate robust pedagogy and explores doing stories otherwise by rethinking inclusion as a way of bringing together of multiple entangled relations and lived knowledges. One challenge I noticed was to engage and listen to story with all my senses without disturbance and my own assumptions. I had to read few times to listen deeply and connect to Netta. The things I have heard and learned about the stolen generations, my assumptions about family connections, child safety, and my eager to know the ending of the story challenged me to listen deeply. I had to face the discomfort of imagining child scream for her mother, unable to speak or understand due to language barriers. I had assumption of institutional life, structured, ordered, protective as a boarding school student since grade 5. It took me to my childhood where I was 10 years old when I had to go to study in the convent where it was very far from home, but it was a pleasant and nice experience. It really challenged my assumption by Neta's description of children treated like inmates and like bullocks in paddock. And also, Neta's story challenged my assumption that children removed from parents the young age would still feel a strong bond with their parents. But Neta had no feelings for her mother when they reunited after 30 years. It paused me. I thought it's a healing to reunited with the family, but I understood it can be confused, overwhelmed, and emotionally distanced. The story challenged my bias and assumption in many ways. The moment which impacted me most was when the older girl who could speak her language said, "You're going to be here for the rest of your life and you won't see your mother anymore." It took few seconds to feel the pain inside of me, and it made visualize a little 5-year-old woke up in the middle of strangers and was told that she won't see her mother anymore. Being a mother of nearly 5-year-old twins made it hard to bear that feeling and sorrow. I want to be with them always to make sure they are safe and happy. It also helped me to understand the pain of the helpless mother who lost her daughter. I recognize that I have never experienced a forced removal, language lost, or loss of my connection with family. I understood my identity, privilege, culture, and racial influence that assume and it shapes how listen and connect with the storyteller. Neta's story helped me to understand the importance of acknowledgement and to celebrate the diversity. It helped me to connect with this land in empathic and appreciative way. The practice of storytelling grew my ability to create more inclusive, respectful learning environment, listen to children's voices and family stories to connect and use them when planning pedagogy. Seek support when children have language barriers. In week 2, we listened to the video of Mark Lovett's TED Talk about the power of story listening. He mentioned that where our ancestors learned, shared their wisdom, it's where the stories of their humanity were passed on to the future generations. Listening to others' truths help us understand each other. So only when we begin to create the space for these lived experiences to be heard, we begin to understand them, learn from them. Practicing listening strengthened my capacity to have genuine celebrations with relationships with families and children. It helped me to deeply listen and connect with families and children by their stories to support belonging, identity, and advocacy. I aim to implement story listening into my pedagogy practice by listening to families deep rather than assumption. Understand children's cues and voices to support belonging and identity, modeling deep listening for the children and help them to slow down. Practice breathing exercises with children to improve the mindfulness. Story listening and deep listening help me to provide inclusive practice in my early childhood setting as early childhood professional. Thank you.